Libra, whoever I'm connecting with today, you have a very kind heart, a very big heart. And it feels like you're also very firm about your boundaries. Okay, there's certain aspects of your life you don't let anybody tell you what to do. Okay, they may try, but it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. You know what you want. You know what you'll put up with and what you won't put up with regarding certain areas. In fact, the visual I was seeing in my meditation with your energy was kind of like this ring, like maybe it feels almost like a circus ring as I'm saying it. And the edges of this ring are all your boundaries. You know, like you can't, the lion in the middle, maybe you're dealing with a Leo energy, but like this ferocious energy in the middle, like you can't go past these walls. Sorry. But this energy in the middle, even though they can't go past your boundaries and your walls because you know what you want there and you won't let them get through and change your mind about certain things, there's like this open space where they just walk all over you is what I'm getting, or they try to. And I'm not sure what Spirit's guidance is just yet, but it feels kind of like, I don't know, you have a quiet energy today. It's kind of sullen almost. It's like, I'm okay. I know what I want. I'm doing it. Like, I'm a boss. I got this. I can handle this. And also it's like, I feel unseen. I feel like unappreciated, or I feel like I'm always having to deal with all this noise and other people's opinions. I wrote down many tongues, which is a card in this deck that I'm going to be using today. And it's the 7 of Swords. It says on it, many tongues. And I got that many tongues, many voices, many opinions, many people opining to you about what you should do. And I tried to really sit into this feeling of like, how does this feel for you? Well, and as I'm talking, it feels kind of like a circus, but it's like you're trying to, you're the ringmaster maybe at a certain level, but like you're trying to control this circus, but it's getting exhausting. And what I actually got is that it feels like some anger may be bottled up a little bit. You have a tendency, just as Libra energy, doesn't matter where it is in your chart, whether you're Libra rising, Venus, moon, sun, whatever you're watching for, right? It feels like you try to, of course, it's your natural tendency to balance the energies out. Okay, like, okay, this person's imposing a little too much. They're bothering me a little bit too much, but I'm going to balance it out and I'm going to go concentrate on my thing, hold my boundary. That makes me feel balanced. But there's something here where I feel like, I don't know, maybe you need to say something, or maybe you need to put a hard stop to someone's antics or behavior. It feels like somebody's maybe getting away with a little bit too much snippy with you. Okay, snippy, I don't know. Or they're taking advantage of your kindness in some way. But the thing is, Spirit's showing me it's not like you're a victim in this situation. It's not like you're disempowered. You're just kind of like, yeah, I can see that, but I don't have energy to deal with it. So we're going to see what's going on for you, Libra. If this message isn't resonating with you, that's totally fine. You can check out your other placements or just not watch any readings at all. I don't know where that came from. Maybe that's a message for someone. Something's not resonating. Maybe you have the answer. I mean, you always have the answers within you. This is just general tarot readings on YouTube are really just a springboard for your own intuition. Like, does this jive with me? Does this confirm my intuition? Or is it actually not really my story? And now that I know that's not my story, I'm actually more certain about what is going on. That's really a good way to use general tarot readings, right? To kind of assess your situation. It's kind of like when you hold up 2 different dresses to your BFF or suits or whatever you're wearing. You say which one looks better, but you already kind of intuitively know what you want to wear, but you're not sure. And they say, the red one. You're like, definitely I'm going to wear the blue one. That's kind of how you can approach tarot. Okay. I don't know why that's coming through like that. But maybe you have a question about how serious you should take some messages here. Okay. Always trust yourself, and your own feelings, and your own wisdom, not just your intuition, but your intelligence too. Okay, now this could also be a larger message, like somebody else may be trying to convince you. Well, I said many opinions, many voices, many people opining, hey, Libra, why don't you do it this way? Or Libra, you're not happy about this. And you're like, are you telling me how I feel? Why are you telling me how I feel? Okay, Guardian. Ooh, look at this card. You got a fierce guardian. And I feel like this is like the circus, the lion. Wow. Yes, hold on. Because you have a fierce guardian within you with these boundaries and these borders. And I'm seeing like that ring again. It's like all the walls and the glass. And it's like, no, you can't get out of the ring. I'm not going to let you get out of this ring. But do you really want to spend your time doing that? Okay, let's see. Let's get one more for you, Libra. Let's see what else is going on here. Eternal life number. So we have number 36 with the guardian. Eternal life number 33. I'm seeing this as a mirror. And it's reminding me, because this figure is in stone, it's kind of reminding me of Medusa a little bit. Hold on. There's a very powerful message coming through symbolically here about your own image of yourself. You're very kind. I'm hearing you're beautiful. You're very kind. You're very warm, but you can also be very cold at times. I mean, most people have those polarities within them. And I feel like that's one way you do put up a boundary, is you draw on that side of you that can turn people into stone, for yourself. How do I say this? It's like somebody's bothering you, ticking you off, trying to trespass on your territory that's sensitive, sacred, personal to you, and you don't want them coming near your business plan, your love relationship, whatever it is, your heart, your ideas, your sense of self, your confidence, wherever they're trying to trespass. It's like maybe you hold up a mirror to them, but it's like you turn them to stone in your mind. They're not a threat to you, but there's something about turning other people to stone, like you freeze them in place, they're a statue, they can't really come forward anymore. That is taking up some energy here that maybe you could use elsewhere. Like maybe there's another way, in other words, maybe there's another way to handle a difficult situation or difficult people that feels less exhausting and less depressing, really. It feels a little depressing almost, like sullen, yeah. Like, ugh. And like you can't really open up or be vulnerable, perhaps in a certain dynamic, because there's these like prowling lion energies walking all over some parts of your life or parts of your energy. Now, the more obvious message here with guardian and eternal life, I mean, this is quite powerful, Libra. This is spirit saying you're protected throughout your lifetimes. And maybe I'm biased because I'm Libra rising, but I do think Libra energy is come a long way in terms of the karmic lessons they've learned, and they've released karma in many, many lifetimes. And they're given certain Libra energy because they hold the scales of justice, because they know what justice is. They know how to find balance. They know right from wrong, and they're impartial typically if they're in the light, when they pass a judgment. So someone who holds Libra energy, I usually feel like they've been through it, not just in this lifetime, but many lifetimes. And there's a certain kind of detachment you have when delivering karmic justice. That's that stone, right? It's like, it's cold in a way, but maybe people just perceive it as cold, and you're just actually detached because you're being impartial. Like, hey, that's wrong. You can't do that to me. So, Spirit, I need, before I go any further, I need to know what the guidance is around this. Like, are we bigging Libra up about this, or is there something they need to change? Like, what's going on? 10 of water, fountain of love. Yeah, it feels a little like this whole energy feels a little bit like it's lacking joy, or it's lacking love in some sense. Mother of fire, and 2 of earth, cause and effect, juggling. The Mother of Fire is like the advocate. Standing up for yourself, standing up for others. Trying to find the balance with your own joy and your own happiness. So I feel like you're wearing different hats right now. One of them is like, it's not serious isn't the right word. It's just kind of feels like some kind of duty almost. But at the same time, it feels like it's sucking some kind of joy out of your life. Okay, let's see if we can get in further. It's hard for me to explain exactly what I'm feeling because there's not a lot of feeling there with this. Like, oh, you did that again. Okay, I'm going to note that, or I'm not going to deal with that and turn you to stone. This is so exhausting. I'm just going to go off on my own. And I feel like you don't really express how painful or how depleting something might be. Maybe you don't even express it to yourself, or you don't express it to others. There's something very like you reserve your feelings, you know? And I did write that down, bottled up, like anger is bottled up, okay? And that you don't want to do that because that can cause all kinds of problems for you. Really release any anger that you have. And we all get angry all the time. And that's fine. You don't have no judgments about getting angry, right? But you have to release it. You have to find a way to get that anger out. Because it feels like as you turn others to stone, you're also, you're turning yourself into stone in that conflict. You're freezing your anger in a sense. I hope this makes sense. 12-12. I'm going to take that as a sign that we're fine. Okay, let's see. Steps as the energy supporting you. So there's something that you have to do in steps. Okay, let's get a little bit further. Guides. Oh, we have guardian and guides. How beautiful. You're being guided step by step to do for what? Memories. Ooh, and this lock says mom on it. Maybe that's a particular message for someone. You're being guided step by step, past life, eternal life. To do what with the memories, Spirit? To do what with the memories? Five of Water, spilling, and the Sun. Wow, this is a release. This is an outpouring. This is something's bottled up. Now that's for sure confirmed, especially with this lock. And Spirit's guiding you step by step, or each situation that challenges you in your life. It's like one more step in releasing this energy of the Five of Cups. This to me is grief. It could be depression, unresolved issues, lack of closure, remorse, regret, disappointment. And with the Sun, Spirit is saying you're releasing, see how they're pouring out, you're releasing this energy step by step that you hold in your memories in order to find that joy again, to feel growth again, to feel like you're not a stone statue and everybody around you kind of feels two-dimensional. Or it's almost like there's a feeling of like a lack of aliveness here for you is what I'm picking up. And this is beautiful because Spirit's guiding you to open that lock. Now, maybe this does have to do, even if you don't think it does, but maybe it does have to do with how your mom raised you, or memories with your mother, or trauma around that, something, or maybe you miss your mother. I don't know what it is for everyone, but some disappointments that happened there. Okay, and you had to learn how, that's how it feels. Like you were very disappointed, maybe as a child, Ten of Pentacles, the great work. And it feels like some disappointment, emotional disappointment you had as a child, you turned over to work. You turned over to growth. You turned over to, because I said, like, I'm a boss, like, this is how I like things done. This is how things have to be. It's like you switch tracks a little bit, okay? Emotional and things and relationships are filled with disappointment. I'm filled with regrets on, like, maybe I should have handled it better, or maybe, like, so I'm just going to focus instead on work or on self-development and growth. And I feel like you've been really successful in those areas. I do. And now Spirit's bringing you into this place step by step of healing, of letting yourself, and maybe you're finding this, like the things that used to work before, like pouring yourself into your job or busying yourself, or all these goals that you had, even personal goals, they used to occupy your mind and your time, and you used to be very focused on it. And now you're finding that's not really working. You're not finding the same joy and satisfaction that you used to by focusing on that. And that's because you've stepped a little bit out of your ego there. Your soul is asking for more than ego joy and ego rewards, which are good. And part of finding that soul spirit joy is unbottling all of these emotions that you're holding in your memories. Okay, and not turning them to stone and having them as statues on the wall of all the pain. I'm seeing someone smash a statue. This is time to release, okay? Whoa, I feel like this is coming out in such an interesting, kind of almost like a long-winded way. But there is something step by step. This is a process for you. This isn't something it's not like fire energy where it's like just blast through this grief and just rip your soul open and experience the fire and like it's not like that. This is like, I need to see in each area of my life, step by step, what I'm holding on to, what I'm bottling up, where I'm not expressing myself, where I'm letting people kind of walk all around. Even though where they're walking, I've learned to protect myself, it's still kind of exhausting. So this is maybe a little bit of, it's a little bit of assessing your current life, your current load, I'm hearing. Taking stock of things. Okay, so let's see. There's something else here about the many tongues, many voices, many opinions. Do you feel really seen for who you are? Maybe in some relationships you do, and that's great. But there's something else going on here in some other realm of your life, or some important relationship where it's just kind of like, I don't know, it feels like a lack of respect or autonomy that somebody's, I don't know what they're doing exactly. Okay, let's see the challenge. Community. Welcome, opening. That's what I'm saying. You have a beautiful heart. You're very open in general. But that's when you give an inch, they take a mile kind of deal. And then you start closing things up. And there's this stereotype about Libra energy that they're vain, or they're very superficial, okay, and they only focus on themselves and things like that. But this is like a really ABC reading of the energy. Okay, that's not all that's going on, and that's just kind of like a perspective on the energy. What's actually happening is more of this detachment and this Medusa vibe, right? Where you're turning everything to stone. It's like, I don't want to deal with the depth of your issues or what you're bringing to me, because it's not helping me. You're hurting me, or I need to focus on other areas of my life. So I'm not going to go there with you. You know, I am going to keep it superficial with you or with this topic, or I am going to turn my attention to myself and my own goals and ambitions because I'm drowning in this, like, I don't know, it's like I keep seeing like this, like these lions and these clowns kind of just like walking in a circle in a circus ring. It's like, what am I supposed to do with all of this? Okay, but the challenge is Spirit saying, well, you welcomed them in. You're the ringmaster, right? You brought them in. And that's going to be a tough one to kind of look at, right? Why are these energies in your life? Where did you welcome them in? I don't know why, but whoever I'm connecting with today, people feel like they can get things from you that they actually really can't. But it's like some level of disrespect or something going on. Can I get 2 tarot cards on this too? What are we talking about with welcome, opening, and community? Ooh, we have the Ace of Swords, and it says dawn on it. The Ace of Cups, and it says open channel. That's again that opening. And resurrection with judgment. Well, what's going on here in a spiritual sense is a wake-up call from Spirit with the Judgment card. It's a time of transformation, of deciding where you want to be open. And again, you're very good at closing yourself off and having those boundaries in certain areas, but there's one channel, maybe there's one open channel that needs to be addressed. And I feel like it's actually, you're not going to be able to really address this until you release some emotions you've bottled up. Like you could say to yourself, well, I'm not going to really let that person bother me anymore. I'm not going to pick up their phone calls anymore. I'm going to, not take in their criticism so much. But it's not like, that's a good first step, naming that, but it's not going to be really effective until you release something that's deeper underneath that, underneath the situation or why it's even in your life. These emotions you need to unbottle. Spirit is showing you a truth about your openness. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see if we can get in with more detail. Very complicated energy you have. Because even though I'm saying there's some kind of disrespect, that's the feeling. But you are also highly respected as well. Like you're successful, you're respected, and you're admired. I strongly feel that. And so maybe you feel like this, and yet like still I have these energies like in their circus around me. Maybe it's jealousy, Libra. Maybe it's jealousy. They want to be like you. I feel good. There is a jealousy card in here, and I just saw it in my mind's eye when I said jealousy. So let's pull a card from here and see. Spirit, what do we want to say from this deck? Ooh, new life, eternal life, new life. Oh, that's like the mirror, right? Now, I know this is an ankh, but still, that's what we were talking about. Eternal life, new life. Well, maybe it's time for a new life, new community, new people. Letting go of old memories, and then we have protection down here. it feels like something's gotten stale almost. You're allowed to change your life, Libra. It's not too late, no matter what. And there could quite possibly be an opening here with Judgment, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, community opening, welcoming, that Spirit's inviting you to move towards. But you have to leave the circus behind. I don't know why that's hard. Maybe you've known these people for a long time, or this job, or whatever the case is, or you've attached some of your own identity to them. Like, oftentimes we attach our identity to our career and our job, right? Like, I am this, whatever your career title is. I am a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm a accountant, whatever it is, right? Or I am a musician, yet you haven't been able to make music for the last year, so now you're having an identity crisis. You know, sometimes we do that to ourselves, but you're so much more than what you do. What you do is an expression of who you are. It doesn't define you. It's just one way you express yourself at any given time. I feel, yeah, new life, Page of Wands coming out as your energy. We need some excitement, Libra. Like, enough with the traveling circus. Let's leave them in the tent. Let the show go on without you. Let someone else step in as the ringmaster. Let's do something else. Because it feels like in this circus, you do have to bottle up your emotions to some degree. And Spirit's saying, well, like, let's step by step, let's get those emotions out and let's do something else. I'm hearing the wind is calling you. One of wind, Ace of Wind, the dawn, new life, dawn of a new day here. Ooh, yes. Lots of people coming out, like court cards, but I feel like most of them are aspects of yourself, although we do have community and this circus, many tongues, many voices. Maybe you haven't had a chance to explore the many facets of yourself. Like I was saying, you're attached perhaps to one identity. Even it doesn't have to be a job. Well, being a parent is definitely a job, but it could be being a parent, or it could be being a partner to someone. Okay, 7 of Wands at the bottom with courage. Okay, so let's see what we have for you. Page of Wands for your overall energy. And look at this. This is like, yes, let's do this. Let's feel like this. Because it feels like that right now, whatever situation you're in, the energy feels static, like still, rigid in some sense. Okay, so tell me more about the Page of Wands. The unseen, I'm hearing. The unseen. The Hangman and the 2 of Wands. Yeah, the unseen path. The unseen opening. The unseen door. 2 of Wands. This is a perfect opportunity to forge new life. The Hangman, taking a different perspective. Like, whoa, wait a second. Been hanging from this trapeze, the ringmaster, or whatever you're doing for so long. I see everything. I need to get out of here. I need to do something else. Tired of turning people to stone. You know, and what I mean by that is like, it's like having to understand who someone is and why they're doing what they're doing, and then kind of compartmentalize it, or just like find a way to carry on even though they're like that. Even if you decide you want nothing to do with someone after you so-called turn them to stone, it's like there's still a statue in your mind. Like, we need to get right out of all of this. But Spirit is saying and I feel like I would just want to rush out. Like, let's burn the circus tent down. Like, set everybody out of there. Like, let the animals roam free. Let the clowns take off their masks. Like, let's get everybody out. But Spirit is saying this is not like that for Libra. This is going to be a step-by-step process. And perhaps you feel like if you unbottle these emotions that you've kept in, like, you're going to get flooded. I know in my life, I felt like that so many times, especially through really traumatic times. I was definitely like trying to hold it together, coping, like survival, holding it together. And, when I was in therapy, my therapist was like, it's okay to cry. And I'm like, no, because if I start crying, like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to stop. Like, like, I don't know what's going to happen to me if I start crying, because I knew I was holding so much in. And so I was scared of my own emotions, of letting them out, of being out of control of a situation where I felt scared. So this could very much be what you're feeling too, okay? Because I'm talking about it. But Spirit's saying you're guided, your guides are with you, you're protected, step by step. You will let it out, and you're not going to get flooded. It's going to be one session after another of letting these emotions out, even if that session is just with you, or maybe you're talking to someone. But the point here is you've had a new perspective, well earned, 2 of fire, page of fire, you're ready to go. The path is open, and you have all the support in the world to go down that path. Okay, what you don't see coming is justice, you, in your highest energy form in the tarot. And this card says karma. This is just such a beautiful card. And I feel like even visually, this encapsulates Libra energy. So complex, yet so balanced. There's so much symmetry and poise in this image, yet it's vibrant and beautiful and a pleasure to look at. And maybe that's you too. Well, I know it is. Complicated, the heart at the center. So what you don't see coming is that Spirit is calling you to really own this karmic justice energy that you hold within you as a Libra, or someone who has a strong Libra placement, or if you're watching for your Libra house, like whatever house Libra rules in your chart. Maybe you don't have a planet in Libra, you just have like your second house is ruled by Libra, for example. This area, you have the power of karmic justice, and Spirit's calling you to really activate that. And this means not letting these energies run amok or continue, or maybe they can continue, but you don't. Okay, so let's see. Tell me more. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles, the great work, Libra. What you don't see coming is a lot of damn success. And I'm not talking about just monetary success, business success, this kind of relationship success, although that's also encapsulated in the 10 of Pentacles. But with this deck, and it's saying the great work, this is you moving up the tree of life, mastering the justice energy. That's your great work in this lifetime. In this lifetime, you are meant to do the great work of balancing, of finding justice within yourself and bringing justice to situations impartially, okay? Clearing karma, seeing things honestly, truthfully for what they are. And I feel like you've done that. And this is why the new life is being offered to you, because you've already mastered this. Maybe you completed your life lesson just a little bit ahead of schedule. And so now Spirit's like, okay, well, why are we still in the circus then? Libra's done with it. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, I feel like you're ahead of schedule for your karmic clearing. That's cool. I don't think I've ever had that message. Wow. Now, on a real literal level, some of you are going to like open your own firm. Okay. You're going to be your own boss. There may be something legal that is highly successful for you that happens. There's an open door. This is really quite amazing. There could also be like a higher level of commitment between you and someone else, or a contract that's signed. Wow. So what begins with like, oh, there's a new path. There's a new way to deal with something. There's a new way to perceive something. There's a new door, turns into like huge success. And I don't know if you're you're not expecting it to happen this way. Not to the extent it will. Okay, so your opportunity is the Sister of Earth, Page of Pentacles. Well, with a new life comes new lessons, new teachings, new experiences, new dedications. And I did feel really guided to draw this little pentacle, when I was sitting with your energy. And that is your opportunity to learn something new. So let's see. Two of Cups. Something new about connections, and this says sacred cord on it. What you're corded to, learning about what you're corded to, cutting cords, creating cords if you want to. You know, we always talk about cutting cords. We never talk about creating them. Not all cords are bad. It just depends on your perspective of it. You know, you're corded to, I'm seeing like this silver streams, like of consciousness, you know, that's your connection. An umbilical cord to spirit, right? So you're learning about love. You're learning about reciprocity. You're learning about cords, energetic cords, where you want to give, what you want to nurture. That's your opportunity to learn more about that. About a certain connection, even. This could be building a stronger connection with someone younger than you, a child perhaps, or a sibling, or anyone really. But I'm saying that because it's a page. Okay, so let's see the challenge. The challenge is the Eight of Cups, still waters. Yeah, that's like kind of where you are, in there, in the still waters. Eight of Cups. Challenge is getting out of that circus tent, walking away. Step by step. Just take it step by step. Like literally the smallest steps. Like maybe you have someone that you want to distance yourself from, and you talk to them all the time. We'll talk to them like 10 minutes less, and then 20 minutes, and then 30 minutes, and then 40, you know, like it could really be that slow. Or maybe you want to switch jobs entirely. Well, just start searching online, like what else is out there? What do I need to do? And still go to work every day. Like it doesn't have to be bing, bang, boom, like drastic changes. Oh my God. It doesn't have to be like that. Maybe it is going to therapy, and maybe you just go once a month and that's enough, and then twice, and then once a week, or you know, whatever floats your boat. However slow you want to take something, Spirit says that's okay. That would actually help you quite a bit. You don't need it to do anything drastic here if you don't want to. If you do want to dive in, I don't think Spirit's saying not to. Okay, well, actually, I back that up. I saw Three of Swords and Seven of Cups. I have to be honest here. Spirit's saying if you jump into something before you actually feel ready, or before you uncork and unbottle all these emotions, Three of Swords, Seven of Cups, you might be really confused. You might find yourself in a place of like, I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I made this drastic decision. You know, I didn't like, that was kind of out of left field. So step by step is better. Okay. So your advice is the Sister of Wind. Look at all the pages here. That's fresh energy, new life energy. Page of Swords. That's to gather more information. And then I pulled out an extra card, and I'm going to take this as part of the guidance. And that's Brother of Water. That's Knight of Cups. Gathering more information about what opens up your heart, where you want to take your heart next. I think this is different than like, where do you want to put your creative energy? Where do you want to put your business energy? I really think Spirit's saying something about connection here for you. Like, where do you want to give your heart? Are you ready to give your heart? There's something about finding out more information about what would make you happy and what you actually want. What you actually want. Yeah, I feel like that would be important to know, the Emperor. Yeah, so you can be in charge of something a little bit more, because all of these lions and these circus monkeys, not that those animals aren't cute, they are, and they have their rightful place, of course. But the clowns and like everything in the circus, it feels like they just kind of wandered into the tent, and then you were like, oh, you're here, and now I got to deal with this all. Like, there's something about being more selective. Okay, the Emperor card. Finding out what it is that you want and what would make you happy. Don't just go ahead with things because it's just like, oh, this is just what I'm supposed to do, or this is what someone told me I need to do. You decide what the next steps are, not someone else. And there's also something about like, did you have a parent that was very like, Libra, this is how you should grow up, or these are the things you need to know, or this is what you should do next. Like, it's time for you to redefine things for yourself. Okay, Libra, your outcome. I'm also going to do an extended reading. In the extended, we're going to go a layer deeper. We're going to see what's underneath all this. I'm very curious to find out. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description box below. For those of you who have gone to extends before, it's a little bit different, not that different, but it's a little bit different now about how it works, but it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. Let me know if you have any problems, though, in the comments below, because you'll be the first sign to use the new, the new way that Vimeo, whatever, is doing their thing. But I actually think it's better. I think it's going to be a better experience. And I'm excited to see what happens. Anyways, your outcome, if you don't want to go to the extend, that's cool too. No pressure. Okay, your outcome is the 10 of Swords. And I think this is taking down those tent poles. Letting the tent collapse in on itself. See ya. One step at a time, right? Instead of setting fire to the tent, you just take out each pole, each stake in the ground. You roll it up, closing up shop with this. 10 of Swords. And this kind of does look like a circus to me. The circus ring that I was talking about and the tent here. And it says here, the way of the cross. And the way of the cross reminds me of the hangman. This is you following your own direction and your own perspective. Taking the circus down one step at a time. Okay, let's see. 4 of Earth, power. Ooh, what a beautiful word for this card. Usually we think about this as a miserly energy, but this is you taking back your power. Something comes to an end and it's difficult, but you do it step by step and you reclaim and take back your power in the process. All right, Libra, that's what I have for you. I hope that helped. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.